All right, in part 3 of our review on math, we're going to be checking out algebra. So we'll be looking at distributive property and solving equations. So first, distributive property. So distributive property basically involves two numbers that are in brackets, and you're multiplying those numbers by a number outside the brackets. And all you do is you multiply the numbers inside by the number outside. You do it individually. So for example, in this case, I've got 2 times 30 minus 15 in brackets. So I take the 2, I multiply it times each of the numbers inside. So 2 times 30 is 60. 2 times negative 15 is negative 30. And then you evaluate the inside, you end up with 30. Same thing here. I've got an x here, no big deal. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. We're done. Same thing here. Negative 2 times t squared, negative 2t squared. Negative 2 times negative 15 is positive 30. So again, you can see we're just simply multiplying each of the numbers through. So I'd like you to try the following. I'll pause right now, or you should be pausing, sorry, and then try them and check your answers. Okay, now you've had a chance to work on your problems, check your solutions now. So again, you're multiplying the outside number of each of the inside bracket ones. So 2.5 times 2 and y, 10 times 2 and negative 6. Here, 3t times 11 and negative 3. And here will be 3x times 9x, so 27x squared. So be careful. You're also multiplying the x's. 3x times 4 is 12x, and we're done. So we also like to look at solving equations in general. So two things you have to remember are BEDMAS, which gives you the idea of order of operations. So brackets come first, and subtraction comes last in order of operations. So let's try the following. Oh yeah, one more thing you have to do. You have to always do the same on each side. So if you do something to one side, you have to do the same to the other side of the equation. So let's try to evaluate the following as an example. So for example, here I want to solve for the n. I want to get rid of the 2. So what we do is we go 3n. I'm going to subtract 2. So do that from both sides. So 8 minus 2 is 6. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3 to get n on its own. And we end up with n equals 2. Very easy. Second example, we're going to use distributive property first. Okay, so again, we've got brackets. We have to do that. So 4r minus 28 is equal to 2r plus 23. So what we want to do here, we want to move the r all to this side, so the 2r over here, and the 28 onto this side. So we'll do the r first. So to do that, I subtract 2r from both sides. So 2r minus 2r is 0, so you just have 23 on this side. And then 4r minus 2r is 2r minus 28. And then I'm going to be adding 28 to both sides. So this becomes 2r is 23 plus 28, which is going to give us, so 2r is equal to 4051. And we're done. And then over here, example C, we want to do the distributive property first again. So 7 is equal to 33 minus 9x. So I want to bring the 9x over here. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So it'll be 9x plus 7 is equal to 33. Then I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. So 9x is equal to 24. And then what we can do is you can divide both sides by 9 and have x equals 24 over 9. And we're done. So basically, that's all you do. So again, for solving equations, you want to remember that you do BEDMAS, order of operations, and then whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. We're also going to be reviewing some trigonometry. And we're reviewing trigonometry. We're just going to be doing the basic trig functions. So sine, cosine, and tangent. So when you're doing this, you want to remember what you have in terms of your triangle. You have a right angle triangle. You have an angle. We call it theta. The longest side, the opposite from the right angle, is the hypotenuse. The side adjacent to the angle is adjacent. The side opposite The angle is my opposite. So for sine, the sine of theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. So you remember sa, ka, toa. Now, when you're doing angles, you're measuring angles in physics, it's really important to remember to use degree mode. So you always have to double check, is your calculator in degree mode? Otherwise, you have very incorrect values. So what I'd like you to do right now is I'd like you to try the following. I'd like to enter sine 35 on your calculator. You should be getting this value if your calculator is properly configured to degree mode. Once you've done that, I'd like you to try the following. I'd like you to try to determine the angle here. I know the sine of the angle is 0.5229. I want to find the angle. So what we do is we do sine inverse. So we do the sine inverse of 0.5229. So to do that on your calculator, you enter 0.5229 and then second function sine. That usually gives you the answer. So in this case, it should be 32 degrees. So what I'd like you to do is pause, try the remaining examples here, and then check your answers. Okay, let's see how we did. So for cos 60, you should have a value of 0.5. Tan 45 should give you a value of 1. Now to figure out the angle here, so you do the inverse cos of 0.4226, gives you 65 degrees. The inverse tan here should give you a value of 77 degrees. So again, make sure you are proficient with this. If you need a little bit of extra help, come on in and we'll get you up to speed with your math. So again, take care. Have fun with the rest of the course.